This is queer podcastery. It's an art form, very popular, not popular, but important one. Probably not really important. Yes, just go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Queer Gossip Podcast, episode number 27. We have a very special guest on today, which will be an interesting one. And
I don't know how much I'm going to watch this because it's probably going to be boring as fuck. The problem with a lot of this like queer stuff is that there's never any like real disagreement with anything because a lot of these people can't handle disagreements. So it's just two people usually molding about how transphobic everyone is. I'm just interested in how this guy kind of comes across off of Twitter. See if he obsesses over transphobes and shit constantly then. Like, he's the kind of guy, literally, he'll get his hair cut and then turn that into a bitching about transphobes, you know, like nondescript group of transphobes that follow him everywhere he goes, I guess. Get off Twitter is my advice, but that's not going to happen, I guess. Got the progress flag here, so that's nice.
Obviously, we are going to be discussing what's currently going on, if you don't know already. So yeah, buckle up, and it'll be an interesting one. I also want to mention that my co-host couldn't make it today.
What's going on? They mean we discussed anti-trans bills, the current landscape, as well as hopes for the future.
She has some pressing engagements going on, so she won't be joining us, unfortunately, but she will be here in spirit. But yeah, and I do want to say that anything that I will include all of the legal's information down below, his Twitter, and any other information that he passes on to me. So yeah, I'll let him introduce himself. And by the way, and I just want to make this very clear, if you are one of those arseholes that do listen to this, like, don't bother, because
if we're one of those arseholes that listen to this, don't bother.
We don't want your crap. This is trans people are trans, whether you like it or not. Their lives matter, just like yours. So if you're going to be a bigot and
my life matters. Oh, thank you.
Transphobic in the comments, because this will go up on YouTube as well, don't bother. Save your breath, because I won't stand for it. That's all I've got.
He's not going to stand for it, guys. Don't send any. As if anyone's watching to do that. I actually like brigading and shit. It's fucking cringe.
I'm say. But anyway, if you want to tell us about yourself.
Yes, on Twitter, my name is the Pissed Off Lawyer, or legal tweets with a Z. I'm from the U.S. I'm in Michigan, Detroit to be specific. I do, I'm a lawyer, and I do mainly like criminal defense and LGBTQ law stuff. I do a lot of stuff with the community, and that's about it. I mean, I just work a lot and piss people off on Twitter.
He pisses people off on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's one way of saying I cry on Twitter, I guess. I don't know.
The one thing they don't hate, they hate is like, yeah, that's weird. It's like, are you seriously trying to piss off a lawyer? Like, do you actually know what
Yeah, why would you piss off a lawyer? This guy's a pussy, by the way. I don't fucking care whether he's a fucking lawyer or not. He's a pussy.
You're doing, like, but they don't have. It appears
just like this guy is a pussy, no matter how many face tattoos he gets. It's the same kind of concept, basically.
To me, it appears that they don't have a brain cell, because if they realise that actually, oh
sick
shit,
burn.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to argue with a lawyer. He probably knows the law better than me. I better back off, but they don't.
Oh.
But yeah, he does amazing work. I implore anyone to go follow him. Like I said, legal tweets on Twitter.
Yeah, if you like someone crying about transphobes 24/7, then it's great.
Because sadly, in this current climate, the voices need to be heard, and unfortunately, those voices that need to be heard are being drowned out by stupid fucking politicians in the US and as well as here in the UK,
this guy's really mad,
adopting right-wing policies. So yeah, trans people's voices need to be heard.
I wonder which Jeremy Kyle show episodes he's been on. Definitely at least one.
So I do implore you to go follow him, because not only does he clap back, but in a classy way. But actually,
you clap back in a classy way, okay?
What are you talking about? So do follow him.
Okay.
But I was looking. I don't know if you use, but I use let me go on to a minute. The anti-trans bill tracker.
Yeah. By the way, I'm aware what my teeth look like. They don't look like this, okay? My teeth do not fucking look like this. So maybe this is the main reason, actually. I'm just getting all these British people on here so I can show that, in fact, I've got some of the better teeth in this country. Anyway.
Because that's where I tend to try and keep up to date with how many laws that are being passed or haven't been passed yet. So I want to quickly bring it up so that everyone else can see as well. So share.
I mean, let me
So
ask,
let me go to...
is there a bill tracker or some similar tracker in the UK, or is this the US one? Okay, yeah.
This is the US one. I haven't really looked in to see if there's an actual UK one. I mean, I could probably look. This is the one that I currently go by because
Yeah, I haven't seen one in the UK, so
no, I haven't. If anyone does know if there's a similar one in the UK, then do let me know because I do literally really want to make.
I already hate this wording. I'm barely listening to him right now. I really hate this wording, the right to publicly exist. Well, it's not the right to publicly exist. It's the right to be perceived a certain way, maybe? I'm not sure. This is something that always bothers me. I don't know about this website specifically. They could be pretty decent and they could be fairly impartial and just kind of showing what's going on. But you get the feeling that probably a lot of it's like ideologically motivated. So what they're actually considering anti-trans bills is it's definitely up for debate, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt because I mean I could spend all day researching this shit. It wouldn't be very interesting to do or to listen to. So
sure that I keep up to date with so many flipping bills that are being passed. But I
yeah,
go
so
back.
these are kind of the information. This is getting so loud. What is happening?
The US because that's primarily where I tend to get all of my anti-trans law bills from. But
I think there's definitely a problem, by the way, with how many people in the UK are becoming influenced by Americans, both on the left and the right. I don't think we need that kind of influence. I don't think that's been a good thing, personally.
But yeah, there's currently 578 bills in 42 states, 39 have passed, 337 active, 202 failed.
That's not a great pass rate to start with.
There was obviously 3 anti-bills passed in New Hampshire, if I remember correctly.
yes.
But I mean, I don't know about you, but me and I'll speak on behalf of my co-host, which I don't always do because I let her speak for herself. But since she's not here, unfortunately,
yeah, the actual trans person couldn't make it, so we got this guy. I don't know if he's trans, to be fair. He doesn't come across like he is, but I could be wrong.
Because she's trans herself.
That was an extremely unfortunate girlhood, I guess, if you're trans.
Of all of these anti-trans bill hates, and we know the reason why they're doing it, because it's not hard to work out. It's get to that time of the year, election.
It's not hard to work out why they're doing this. We can ascribe meaning in any way we want, but is there much use in that ultimately? Like, you know, we can say that, oh, it's because they're transphobic, oh, it's because they're trying to get elected and stuff. Well, maybe, and I don't agree with them using trans people as like a sacrificial lamb or whatever in that way, but I don't know. It's the same talking point you can hear from literally anyone.
That's the only reason why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when
That's
you look
the only reason why they're doing it. Like, there can't be any other reasons. And like, we're talking very broadly, remember? We're not talking about any specific bill. So it's not like you can really look into what they're saying. What they're saying is always broad enough that you can never really falsify it, but you also can't really prove it. So what do? You either take them on their word for it because they're saying the pro-trans thing, which to me is very manipulative. And I've definitely come across other trans people who have tried to like manipulate me, and it just doesn't work because I'm not vulnerable to that kind of shit anymore. But like a lot of people are. Hi, Praise Cheese 99. How are you?
but when you look at these bills and considering how many there are, as a lawyer and personally as well, how does it make you feel?
Well, first of all, it's overwhelming because there's 578 of them. As an attorney, I find them to be mostly unconstitutional. And a lot of courts, like federal courts, are ruling that that a lot of these bills are unconstitutional under what we have is known as the Equal Protection Clause, which essentially means you have one group of people, which would be cis people, and then you have another group of people, trans people.
Oh, he makes like noise when he drinks. Oh, I don't know how. This is really boring. I don't know how much I'm going to watch of it. I don't like this kind of content, but I feel like I need to show it occasionally.
And are we treating those two groups equally?
Like, there is a lot of like molding about Yeah, do we treat these two groups equally? So one of them's a minority, one of them's a majority. This is kind of boring. They get a bit more specific here. Let's just skip through.
Loads. Right, so yeah, there's so with these 39 bills, I mean, bathroom bill, which is a stupid one, that will never work. How are you going to mandate that? Seriously?
Exactly. How you do, it's an unenforceable law, in my opinion, because it's just going to lead.
Okay,
And
I
obviously,
missed
these
something.
blue states obviously signifies where bills are presumably passed. And not so. If I go further, if I click on this right here, if it loads, right, so yeah, there's so with these 39 bills, I mean, bathroom bill, which is a stupid one, because that
Bathroom bill.
will never work.
I mean, bathroom bills I'm not for. I don't really need either of these people to tell me why they're bad, but I'm sure they're gonna.
How are you gonna mandate that? Seriously?
Exactly. How you do, it's an unenforceable law, in my opinion, because it's just going to lead to harassment of cis people too. As a butch lesbian, I used to get harassed in the bathroom all the time. It'll just lead to that. It's just unenforceable.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you could get harassed without there being a law. If a woman in there is like, "You look like a man. I don't want you in here." I don't know why he is saying that, but
4 have been signed into law. 5 others have passed but haven't yet been vetoed or signed. So bathroom 2, education 13. Oh wow, we can't let children be educated on LGBT or I mean fucking. I mean that's primarily down to flipping DeSanctimonious down in Florida.
he's just insulting Ron DeSantis. Like,
He's flipping unhinged attack.
it's always this emotional language. I can pick any point and there's going to be all this emotional language and all this mouthing about transphobic politicians. Like, yeah, it sucks, but like, what is whining about it on social media and on podcasts going to do constantly, Like, what are we actually doing?
I've heard that his wife is a good adder on that, but anyway.
His wife is something, I don't know. This is just personal attacks and he needs to fucking blow his nose.
2. Healthcare 10. Oh no, we can't let people decide for themselves. Oh no, we can't let children access gender affirming care.
Wait, he's getting this. He just read Healthcare 10 and is now just concluding a whole bunch of weird shit. Like, what?
Okay, so again, it's all right for cis people. This is the thing. This is what a lot of these people don't understand. Gender affirming care is also used by cis people.
Absolutely.
Not just trans people. Puberty blockers. By cis kids.
They're not. Oh my god. Okay, so they're banning puberty blockers in the UK. They're not banning them for cases of precocious puberty, which is the main thing that they're used for, because there's a precedent and they use it a certain way and it works. They're banning it for using it in a different way for trans kids instead of precocious puberty. So there is a difference, and there are certain risks that come with using puberty blockers, especially more long-term. Say it's someone that, they're using it because they don't know whether they want to go through that puberty or not, and then eventually they make a decision. If they go through that puberty at a much older age, that can cause problems. And, even the ones that don't, even people like that Jazz Jennings, I remember I didn't see much of the stuff, and I got kind of screamed at by people that thought I was saying something else than what I was saying. But the bit I mostly remember is just how complicated her surgery was, because she didn't grow properly down there, meaning there wasn't really much down there to turn into a vagina, And I don't know, I think people were saying, oh, there's way more fucked up stuff about that than that, but that was just the example I was using, we have to have conversations about this shit instead of just being like, well, it's okay for cis people, we're victims, and I haven't heard pissed off lawyer talk very much yet. Maybe he's good at law, who knows? Some people are very good at the jobs they do, but when they have to think for themselves a bit more, they aren't actually that intelligent, so who knows?
Specifically girls. For various reasons. Mind blown. Oh, wait a minute, that can't be right.
And you have minors getting nose jobs and boob jobs. Minors. I mean.
Oh.
So are these people suggesting, are they okay with minors getting nose jobs and boob jobs? I don't know that I would be okay with it in the vast majority of cases. But then, would you not have to be kind of not okay with mastectomies at 15 as well,
my daughter has got back pain because she has got large breasts, and because of that, she's developed back pain, severe back pain.
This person reproduced.
That's just one reason why they get gender affirming care.
Is that gender affirming care though? I don't know if that counts. Like, I don't know. I'd have to think about that, I guess. It's odd to just lump it in with something and then say, well, that's why this is bad. You know, I need to work on that one.
Fucking ridiculous. And they're the and gender affirming care. It's like fucking ridiculous. And they're the ones saying, turn around to us saying, "Oh, we live in a fantasy land. Oh yeah, we're all babies of fables." Like, no, we're not.
This guy's argumentative style is unmatchable. I'm usually like, if I'm watching someone, yeah, if I get to have a conversation with them, that'd be cool because I want to get a lot more answers for the questions that I have. And going on fucking Twitter isn't really going to do that because the people that are as brain fucked as all the people I know are. Because we're dealing with a fucking thought cult here. But this guy's too good for me. Nah, this guy's too good for me. I'm suddenly very scared of him. Okay. The face tattoo didn't have the right effect. I wasn't very intimidated by it. It just kind of like, okay, whatever. But like now I'm starting to sweat in my boots a little bit. And I'm going to have to keep watching just so I see how rhetorically effective this guy becomes when he really starts cooking. Because he's just warming up right now, I have a feeling. We've still got 40 minutes left, which I will definitely watch all of.
Civil rights, other 6, sports 2. I'm surprised that it says 2 there because considering that is a massive major topic, I'm surprised there's only.
Well, the sports, most of the stuff around sports is more to do with sports associations. I don't know that they would. I don't know if they would include sports association policies in this kind of thing.
2 in there, but that'll probably be increased. Birth certificates.
He's not saying like fucking anything. Like we're talking about like laws, bills, and stuff. You'd think he'd be the one with the knowledge and stuff that he can come in, but they're just agreeing with each other. So what's the point? I mean, for all I know, maybe he's like not really up for this and doesn't really give a shit. But I'm not gonna try and reach in someone's head. I see enough of that from other people that I try not to do it myself.
One, again, that's surprising.
I don't know what state that was in, but I think they basically made it impossible for trans people to change their birth certificate. I just can't remember which state.
Yeah, well,
should trans people allowed to change their birth certificate? I don't know about that. I mean, it's a very private document, I guess. I guess the point might be partly to not out someone, maybe? I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about that because, you know, I'm trans. I was born a boy. I'm very upfront about that. It's pretty obvious anyway, in a lot of ways. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about those, to be honest.
There's apparently 60.
But this guy is very primed to say that all of it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter what it is.
States: Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, New Hampshire.
Let me guess. It's all the red states.
Ohio, and obviously there's others there that are probably, you know, but it's like, actually, let me go into, let me go down. So far this year, 8 bills passed and subsequently vetoed. These bills are not included in our passed bills count. In cases where a veto is overridden, bills will be labelled passed and included in the bills counted. So
yeah, the pass rate isn't great. If we're trying to play victim based on this, it's not the best angle, in my opinion.
Yeah, that happened in Ohio.
Yeah,
he was overridden. The governor of Ohio vetoed the gender affirming hair ban, and then the
oh my god, blow your nose.
Legislature overrode him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, this kind of.
And there's like some audio playing in the background. I'm going to assume it's him. Like this guy sounds a bit better. And I think it's possibly either muting or it's a noise gate or something. He at least seems to have like better equipment.
How do I say? I mean, it's all.
I have very severe misophonia. I don't know how much longer I can deal with this, man. I'm sorry.
Rhetoric at this point. All of this rhetoric, right wing politics, however you want to frame it, has slowly trickled down into our government, and we are starting to see it. We recently had.
Yeah, there's a lot more US. If he's saying about the UK government, there's a lot more US influence, but How can he's talking about like US stuff when he's British? Like, why aren't we talking about like some of the stuff that's going on in Britain? I don't know.
Well, was it recently? Recently, I think a few weeks ago, we had our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who's a billionaire, by the way, and so is his
He's a billionaire, by the way. Is he? He might be.
wife. Said that trans women are men, and
I like how someone being a billionaire, that's a poisoning of the well, rather than look how cool this guy is. I know.
obviously, to lapse that up. But we are starting
I
to
guess what I'm saying is like we've got all the components. We've got the far left shit. We've got the pro trans shit. All of that.
this. They're trying to. I mean, and of course, we can't forget the cash report, the now debunked cash report, which everyone clung to. Oh yeah, we've got the golden ticket. Yeah, we'll be all right. Right, no, you won't.
The debunked cast report. Again, I need to go through the cast report, but I know it's going to be like the most boring shit. Like, in all ways, it's going to be boring to read. It's going to be boring to stream if I even fucking bother. It's going to be boring editing or putting together what thoughts I have on it. It's been debunked. So far, the debunkings are like, Hillary Crass is a transphobe and shit like that. I need to look into it more. There's some issues I know around what kind of studies they rejected for scrutiny, but I don't know. The problem with all this like propagandizing on both sides is that it doesn't help anyone, because then when people like me are looking for the truth, I've got one side saying it's the best, most amazing thing ever, and you see these like turf like podcasts and stuff like laughing it up, like celebrating and stuff, which is very premature. Like it doesn't say all that much, I don't think, so far. And like the conclusions I read seemed mostly sensible in my opinion. And on the other side, you've got people like this saying, no, it's all bad. I saw that, what was her name? Erin Reed. She's a fucking liar. She was on the Majority Report with that Emma, what's her name, who is the stupidest person in politics right now, the stupidest fucking media talking head of either side. She takes the cake. I don't care. She was like, this Erin Reed was just spouting out all the propaganda about the cast report. It was like so transparent, and it's becoming insanely transparent how so many of these people talk. And I've shown off so many of them, and I'll just continue to show more until people start believing me that there's a weird fucking pattern.
Right, and now we've got that. It's a whole mess.
It's really a mess.
I mean, this might be a bit of a difficult question, but given the current landscape we're in, what do you foresee happening?
Right now, I foresee things getting regressive before they're going to get better, unfortunately. I am optimistic that like younger generations are going to do better than we're doing, or at least when our generation takes power, eventually from the baby boomers. Hopefully we can reverse some of this. But I mean, I'm half optimist, half pessimist, because right now it's hard to be optimistic. It is a landscape where these bills are being passed, and we're going to have to fight. And in the UK, a lot of the cast review and the propaganda that's happening, then we're going to have to fight really hard to reverse that damage.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop here because that guy is like, I have severe misophonia. Okay, I'm not being rude. Like the sniffing and the coughing and that. Just no. I'm not about that. So what was he even saying? Like, well, I'm optimistic because younger people are coming in, but I'm also pessimistic because things are bad right now. I don't know. I'm not blown away by this guy, honestly. The pissed off lawyer. I need to see if he does any other stuff that isn't this. Because these queer podcasts, when I watch them, it's like my brain, I can feel it like leaking out of my ears, my eyes, and everywhere else.